Hello, my fellow veterans, young soldiers, guardsmen, guardswomen, reservists. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about health. And so I'll start off by saying I use Boswellia extract for pain. And I would normally suggest that you get this particular benefit. You can go out and look at some YouTube videos on using Boswellia instead of Motrin. And I will tell you that it works great. Motrin has some disadvantages to it. And don't quote me, I'm not a doctor and I'm not heavily into the medical industry. Excuse me, I'm typing because I'm trying to okay, so Motrin has the issue with, I believe it's the kidney. And let me double check here. I'm spelling it wrong. Oh, well, when you get a chance, look up side effects of Motrin. Being in the military, Marine Corps, everything they give you has to deal with Motrin to kill the pain. Oh, you have a sore throat, you have this, you have that. Just take Motrin. And what I had found over time is that, if I'm not mistaken, it either attacks the kidney or the liver. One or the other, it attacks and destroys over time if you take too much Motrin. So because I had such heavy pain, the doctors were prescribing tons of Motrin, and it can lead to other issues. And I was like, I can't keep taking medicines that have other side effects that are damaging me even more. So this is where protecting your health. So I chose to go with Boswellia. And I can't remember if my wife found it or I did. It is a water-soluble pill. In other words, it's going to come out in your urine. So when you go to the bathroom, it only lasts for about 4 to 5 hours. And like I said, check some other YouTube videos. I know, like Dr. Bragg on YouTube will talk about Motrin, and there's a couple other YouTube doctors that are on YouTube that do videos on Boswellia versus Motrin. Excuse me. Motrin, you can take up to, I believe it's about 4 pills per every 4 or 5 hours. I take normally 1 or 2 a couple times a day, and it really kills a lot of the pain in the body as far as the aches and the joint pain, and helps alleviate some of the back pain. I highly recommend it as a substitute. I do keep a bottle of Motrin around just in case if the Boswellia isn't working, or if I run out of the Boswellia or something, I have a backup source. I just highly recommend you trying Boswellia to help with any internal pain that you may have. It's a great alternative to Motrin, and that's just my viewpoint. The other thing that I have learned, and I will pick them up here, are sandals. I won't say, okay, I've learned this the hard way. Not all sandals are made the same. And I'm going to look up the sandal on Amazon because that's where I got it from. So not all sandals are made the same. And me and my wife ran into this when we went to Mexico. So this last year, we were in Mexico, and what happened was our vehicle caught on fire and we lost everything. And when I say we lost everything, I mean we lost everything. It was a horrifying situation that happened. You don't think that you just don't prepare for a fire to happen and you lose all of your items. So we had a van that we took down, and we took like a third of our house, clothing, electronic devices, everything you can think of that we thought would allow us to be comfortable in Mexico for the wintertime. And because I have a lot of medical issues in the wintertime, I get a little crazy in the wintertime because of something about the pressure in the air, and the cold air just wreaks havoc on my head and my body. It's just like I just fall apart. And I told my wife I can't do it anymore. So what's interesting at the time, because we hadn't been moving around, I had a pair of these, I'm bad with names, so Xero barefoot hiking sandals on. And I had, what was on my body is what I had for Mexico. And so I had no other clothes besides what was on my body because everything had burnt. We lost everything. So keep this in mind. Someone had given me a pair of tennis shoes to wear, and other people gave me some clothes and took us in for temporarily until we could get our documents and stuff back on track. And for that, I love the people who helped us in La Ventana. Thank you so much. With that said, what I had learned while being in Mexico, these sandals, I don't know how they're designed, but I have never worn a sandal more comfortable than this. And I have a lot of back pain, knee pains. I mean, the pain shoots down through my legs and my feet hurt. And when I first got these, because of my wife read somewhere that people had worn like kind of like shoeless shoes where it feels like you're barefoot. And so she got these, and at first they just didn't feel right on my body, and it was because my feet were used to having tennis shoes. And I will tell you, I have gone to orthopedics, I believe it is, where they will put special insoles into my shoes. That sucked. It wasn't cutting it. It was causing me more aggravation at the end of the day. I went to different types of shoes, and that helps a whole lot. I will tell you, if you're having feet problems, make sure you're changing out replacing your shoes once a year. That helps dramatically. So here I am stuck with these sandals that are on my feet, and I'll wear them for, just around a little bit, but I didn't feel comfortable enough in them to actually break them in until Mexico. And this is what I had come to realize. These sandals are comfortable. It took me about a week or two wearing them every day to start feeling improvement. What I will say is my steps slowed down, so I wasn't walking as fast as I would in tennis shoes. But my back wasn't hurting from wearing them, and my components of my feet felt stronger from wearing them, and they were wonderful on the beach. When we would go out to the beach, they were great to wear. And when I came, so there was one beach, we would have to walk up a mountain, and it was interesting. With my feet being wet, I threw these on, and my feet were, it's like your feet are like glue in them. And this is what I find interesting about these particular sandals. My feet were like glue in there, and I'm walking up the hill. My foot's not slipping out of them, even though that I'm covered in water from being in the ocean. And here, my feet are not sliding around any. And I'm able to walk, and my wife is having all kinds of problems. So she's buying these sandals in Mexico, and they're all crappy. She's having nothing but problems with them. And so I told her when we got back to the US, we'd have to get her a pair of these sandals because they worked so great for me, and she loves sandals. And she's been wearing them. She goes, it feels like I have nothing on my foot. And so from what I understand, what's happening is the foot can flare out a little bit to walk. And so I find these sandals work great. I'm impressed by them dramatically. I was walking over rocks, stones, and let me tell you, Mexico sidewalks, they're not the best I've ever seen. They can be somewhat horrible. And so you're walking and you don't feel the little rocks unless it's something really sharp. You just don't feel it. It's like wearing a tennis shoe, but you're not wearing a tennis shoe. So I was quite impressed by this sandal. I normally don't recommend products. I'm not getting paid by this company. There is no sponsorships. I'm giving you my experience. And the only reason I'm giving you my experience is because when I find something that works and you're in so much pain, you talk about it. And I will talk about this as a plus. I have not tried any of their other shoe products except for this one, and I know this works. So those two products have made a nice have become a part of my life, and they make a big difference. I would highly recommend looking at in the Boswellia, if you're using, heavy Motrin, and look at these sandals if you have a lot of back issues and walking issues because of pain. I won't say that it's going to work for everyone. I can only tell you it did work for me. And it took a little bit of time for me to readjust my feet, but this was definitely a plus. The last thing I will talk about being in Mexico, because we bought a pair of tennis shoes. The tennis shoes in Mexico, even if they are made by that company, so take Nike, Adidas, New Balance, you can list the brands. They're not made to the same quality as they are in the United States. So I ended up spending, I think it was about $75 for a pair of running shoes, and I think it was Adidas, And I will tell you, it's a crappy shoe. It's like the sole in it is from like the 1990s of what I would get inside the US. I bought this from the actual Adidas company, their store. I went into their store. They were legit shoes. You can tell in Mexico, there are a lot of knockoff shoes where they put Nike on it, Adidas on it. You can look at it, you can feel it. It does not it doesn't feel like the real thing. You can notice it right away. And those shoes, I tried on a couple pairs, they're crap. Going into the Nike store, I mean, I went into their official stores, and all their stores, it's more expensive than in the United States for the same product, not made the same as the product is made for the United States. So if you're traveling outside of the country, when it comes to shoes, make sure you have good shoes that you purchase inside the United States, because you're most likely, 9 out of 10 chances, you're not going to find anything comparable to what is being sold inside of the United States for shoes. With that said, if you like what I'm talking about, if it's helping you, please subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, and give me a comment of something you would like talked about. I'm here to help you. As a veteran that was once a soldier, I want you to, as a soldier, I want you to do better than I did. If you're a veteran, I want to make sure we learn from each other. With that said, take care today, and I'll see you next time.